I'm Alex, and this is Dog.
Hey, guess what? I got something super special for you today, because today in the Rat Hole, we are live.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is...
Hello, 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 and welcome, Internet. Paparazzo Dave Chapman here, and I've got a very special show for you tonight. If you are a dog lover, you're going to love this show. If you're a game lover, you're going to love this show. Really, I hope you just love the show. I've got two special guests here, Kiki and Alex from the game Dogs Bond. Hi, guys. And I still got you on mute. Let's take that off. There we go. Hey,
Hello.
Alex, now you can talk. Welcome. How are you guys doing?
Excellent. Outstanding.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So why don't we start with a little bit of an introduction from the two of you, who you are, how you kind of got into gaming. Either of you can go first.
Kiki, why don't you go first?
Me first? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kiki. I am an illustrator and graphic designer based in North Carolina. I've been doing graphic design professionally for about 4 years now. And I've been gaming since I can remember, probably since I was 7 years old. I played a lot of the Super Nintendo. I think the first game I remember playing was Yoshi's Island, which was pretty fun. And I've been stuck on gaming ever since. Video games, console, online, board games, you name it, I'll do it, whatever. And that's that.
Yeah.
And you, Alex?
Yeah, I'm Alex, and I am the game designer of Dogs Bond. I have been a gamer, probably about the same age, probably like 5 when I started playing Crazy Eights with my grandfather, and just trying to figure that out. Learning chess from books at the library, that was also just kind of like my introduction, I guess, to ancient board games. And also have progressed to handhelds like my green and black Game Boy. That was my first console, if you will. So I'm really good at Skate or Die, Bad and Rad, which is like this just way off-brand game, but it's really great. And wanted to get into game design, and this is my first solo effort out, and we are super thrilled to have funded back in September and getting printed published in May of this year.
Almost there.
Almost there.
So I gotta ask this: what do you consider ancient games?
Well, chess is one of the oldest games, right? And then another game that my grandfather and I would play is backgammon. So I feel like that one's a pretty old game. I remember in 5th grade, my math class, we learned Mancala. So I've been an analog gamer, for a long, long time. I think probably my first exposure to video games was edutainment. So if you're an Apple IIe fan, Number Crunchers.
Yep.
Yes, that is my jam.
Cross Country USA, or up here was Cross Country Canada.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That was made in Vancouver. Even the USA one is a Canadian product.
See?
There's your learning for the day.
So yeah, big time.
I feel less old now. And Kiki's going, oh, you old guys. What's an Apple IIe?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh.
Y'all are just talking about math games, and I'm like, that doesn't sound very fun.
Surprisingly, as far as school went, it was. But yeah, compared to, something like Dog's Bond, I'm sure it's very much not.
Oh yeah, I have way more fun playing Dog's Bond than I do Number Munchers right now. I'm not sure if that's a reflection on my poor math skills, or the fact that I also too enjoy Dog's Bond because it's an analog game, like a true board game tabletop. Yeah. But yeah.
Deb was saying she grew up on backgammon with her brother.
Awesome. Play in a game.
Hello, Nisha. Hello, Willow. I do the same sort of thing. So it's nice to have someone who doesn't feel like I'm that old all of a sudden. Except for Kiki.
You're welcome, Dave. I'm doing what I can. Doing what I can.
There you go. There we go. So before we talk about Dog's Bond in more detail, why don't we take a look at the video? Because I've got that here, and I just have to actually add it to the stream. Maybe not in the middle of the intro sequence.
Dog's Bond is a board game where players take on the role of a rescue dog in a shelter environment, collecting and sometimes competing for the attributes they need to be adopted into one of 6 forever homes. The gameplay is simple. First, draw a yellow event card, and if instructed, draw a blue card, and then play any blue card from your paw. Some event cards will apply to multiple players, and some event cards will activate your dog's special ability. When you're done with your turn, take the rope toy and pass it to the next player and bark at them. This is really great for when players might get distracted. Sorry. Dog's Bond is special because it's made for dog lovers by dog lovers.
A rescue dog gives back as much as you give to the dog. You're their second chance. The dogs end up in shelters for all sorts of reasons, some of them good, some of them bad, but most of those dogs are perfectly innocent, and all they need is that second chance at life. So that's why we love Dog's Bond, because it's focused on the rescue and shelter world.
The strategy is deep and challenging enough for adults, but can also be used as a gateway game for children still learning how to take turns and match card sets. There's a top dog that wins based on earned points, but the real win is a story that we get to play together through the game. Every adoption is special, and to celebrate that, take your dog character and match it to your adopter. Flip over these cards to reveal the happily ever after stories from your unique game. We made this game focused on the positive, infusing the rescue story with play, whimsy, color, and hope. We're finding forever homes for dogs in a board game. What better examples are there for the bond of friendship? Please give us a forever home at your table by adopting Dog's Bond.
And applause. Love that video. It feels. Good job, Alex.
Thanks. Thanks.
So I kind of gave a little bit of a brief overview. I love the fact that you don't have a hand of cards. You have a paw of cards, because you are the dog. You're not the adopter. You are the dog.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of fun. Tell us a little bit more about how the game goes.
Sure. So every player becomes a rescue dog. And in our game, the environment is kind of a shelter environment where you're exploring the events that happen around you, right? And so sometimes it's an event that might apply to just you. Sometimes it'll apply to every dog that's at the table. You're collecting the attributes that you need to be adopted into one of 6 forever homes. And the way you do that is by collecting the sets of those attributes, as you saw: health, grooming, temperament, and obedience. And then at the end of the game, you score up your points based on your bond level that you meet with each of the adopters. So each adopter, you know how it is. You go to an adoption event and everyone says, I love that dog, but I love that dog too. I love that dog. So you're getting all those kind of, accolades, and then you get points based on the house number that you get adopted into as well. And your adopter gives you bonus points based on their most favorite attribute that you have. So it's again, it's got that kind of complexity for, keeping the older kids and kids at heart entertained, but also too, it's a gateway game designed for playing with kids, structuring along the spectrum, and even too maybe even inviting people back to board gaming.
Love it. And Deborah here got a chance to play with you just the other day.
Mm-hmm.
She was saying, the best thing about the game is that money is never ever mentioned.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, your experience is your dog, and you're just out there to be the best dog you can be, right? And that's your focus, right? That and food is good. And we try to, kind of keep that mindset there. And of course, being a mission-based type of product, keeping that very much in mind. It was about how do we empathize with these animals who are, again, in tough situations. Maybe they're not, they're not there by choice, and they're just trying to learn how to operate in what we see as like the societal expectations of dogs, right? So they're doing the best they can.
Exactly. How did that kind of translate through to the design, Kiki, to kind of bring all of those good feelings and rough scenarios that you have to make good or present well? How do I put that? How did you have to bring all that alive? This is your area.
Yeah. So I think we had a real focus on the art and showcasing it in the best way that we can, because the art is very like whimsical and very like storybook feeling. So we want to make sure that was very front and center. So I tried to make the design elevate that to the point where it feels natural for the user, but also, enhances that storybook feeling, I guess, if that's a way to say that.
That's a reasonable way to do that. I'm just trying to see. I didn't actually set that up. I've got the dog art here, and I just hadn't loaded it. There we go. That's a little.
There they are.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm not even here. You guys are just kind of popped over the top, just looking over. Hey, look, it's out. Look, it's
now you're a basset hound.
Dog.
Yeah, yes. And we're being interviewed by Dave, the basset hound. I love it. No, all of that was intentional. And, I think that, again, being a very art forwards project and having that in mind, especially, being a game that we wanted to be, we wanted to appeal to, a young family. That had always also been in kind of our minds. Our game is targeting, ages 10 and up. So from like a complexity standpoint, but also too, that's generally speaking the age that some children are when their families are considering, well, should we get the kid a dog, right? And what does that mean? And so we knew that, having that as the conversation or the conversation piece is just, again, another way to kind of carry forward the mission as well. But yeah, the design is intentionally designed to put you in that storybook moment.
For sure. Dinner time cards for fun. Food is important.
Yes, especially to dogs.
Exactly.
Yeah. They know it's supper time, even when it's not.
Especially when it's not.
Especially when it's not.
There's more to the game than just the game. You guys have been working really hard to partner with a bunch of dog rescues around America and coming up into Canada. Tell me a little bit about why you're doing that. How that's working with you guys.
So I do a lot of work volunteering with local rescue near me. So I'm in San Francisco, California, San Jose to be specific, and working with groups like the Golden Gate Basset Rescue, whom you saw in the video. That had always kind of been part of the plan, right? To have as part of the conversation and a way for us to make some positive change in the conversation about rescue and adoption, partnering with rescues. So ideally, we can make this, into a fundraising type of opportunity, a way to bring dog people back to the hobby, and maybe to bring dogs into the homes of hobbyists. And that's just a really, it is an intersection of who I am, but I think also too, it's an intersection of just who we are, right? As people, we're all looking for that time to spend and invest with one another. And whether it's the bonds of friendship that you have with animals, or the bonds of friendship that you have with people that you're like, I'm willing to spend my time playing a game with you. Like, those are the real moments,
Right. And that's really the biggest difference for me with tabletop gaming as opposed to the video games, is exactly that. Usually, and except for right now, sitting down at a table face to face, getting to interact.
Mm-hmm.
I love the mechanic of having to bark at the end, because you're right. If people just zone out all the time, it's like,
yep.
I'm not paying attention. I didn't see Kiki sneezing, and then bark.
Right. For me, that was a way, and this is from two things, right? Wanting to find a way to never have the question at the table, is it my turn or are you done with your turn? Right? Because that always feels like we've come out of the game, we're doing table talk, right? Rather than like be staying in the game. And then also too, one of my advisors on the project, his name is Dan Klitzner. You might know him. He invented the Bop It. He actually asked me, how are you animating the player? How are you physically going to animate them at the table? Is there a way that you can infuse even more fun with it? And I was like, well, you know what I think? And so we added a little something. So that's, and also too, when you bark at somebody who's on their phone, they are real quick to get back in the game. And then they kind of stop looking at their phone or texting or whatever else, because they don't want people hearing a bunch of barking.
Yeah.
It's great.
I love it. Ever have a moment where your brain just kind of goes,
Literally
right now?
all the time.
Yeah. So Kiki, tell me a little bit more about kind of where the art came from, where your background, your experiences came as far as that.
Well, I think we were definitely really lucky to work with Sarah, the illustrator who did all the amazing illustrations for Dog Spawned. She also happens to be my best friend. So we kind of have like a natural synergy when working in the graphic design and illustration synergy there. Trying to think, one of the best examples of that is probably on the box, which I have. Hold on, allow me to use visual props. Is that okay? Am I allowed?
Yep, of course.
Oh, okay.
Do it. Go for it. Oh, it's even right there.
And as she's getting that, so it was really, really fortunate for me, because Sarah and Kiki being best friends, like I got to join them as a team member, more than I was like doing any type of like hiring. It was really just me saying like, hey, can I make a cool, like, can we make a cool thing? And it was me applying to be in that friend group. So.
So here on the box, we have Sarah's amazing cover art here. And then we kind of worked together to develop this kind of look, because on our cards, you've probably noticed that there's the swoop motif going on everywhere. And then it's just kind of the individual pieces here to make the whole, make it like come together, I guess. So yeah, I don't know. That was my favorite part of the design, I think, other than maybe the adopter boards, which I also have.
Yeah. Do the adopter boards. Do the adopter boards.
Yes.
So when we were going through the design of this, we originally were going to design it like a typical board game, like it was going to have a whole big board, like, you know, it was going to be huge. Do you remember that, Alex? It was going to be like Monopoly style huge board.
It was going to be like a two-fold and then like a four-fold out.
Oh,
To be like this like neighborhood kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was a bad idea. Thank you for helping me with that.
Well, the reason that we came up with that idea, ironically, is because I hate doing math. And so since this is a set collection game where you have to achieve these sets, which is, it's basic math, you know, you just have to do the 1 plus the 2 is 1 match, or the 2 plus the, it's really hard to do this backwards. This looks silly. Anyways, the point is, it was hard to keep up with that in your head. So instead of having a huge clunky board doing that 17 times where you still have to count, because we were only going to have the ladder without the math on it. We just decided, you're trying to get adopted by this person, like not a house, not a board, not math, like this person. So this is your goal, and the arrows point towards this person, kind of thing. And the board does the math for you. So.
And it showed the you know, not to spoil the end of the game, but the video kind of did that. At the end, like you have a story. You let go.
Wait, hold on. Let me do the whole thing.
Yeah,
the video did spoil it, but
a little, but like go.
Whoever opens the box is gonna know it anyway.
Yeah, eventually.
People will notice it pretty quick.
There's like a little ghost box here to indicate that you put your dog here when you get adopted.
Yeah, it's great.
Aww.
And I love how when we play, people feel like they've earned it, right? Like there's of course, you know, okay, well this goes here, but when you've played the game and you've worked hard to find your forever home and like find your person, find your human, there's this kind of like just really rich, rewarding feel that you get. And then when you flip it over, I mean, people just love it. And when we've done play testing of it, it's really truly, you know, come to life. Of course, again, only through that really sharp design and really great artwork. Because when I did it, because I was like, oh, and I promise, when you turn over the cards, it's gonna make a lovely, you know, image. People are like, okay, but they didn't get it. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it turned out looking pretty snazzy. It's an elegant solution and an elegant design. So yeah, we're really proud of it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I got a chance, like I said, I've got to play. I didn't have a chance. I just kind of got to listen in a little bit as I was shoveling snow. I hate you both right now. Seriously, I really, really do. California and North Carolina. Okay, I showed this to you earlier because I showed up just to show you, but I'm just going to toss this up there for other people who are watching. So this right now, this is what I'm dealing with right now. So yeah, y'all can just no. Enjoy your nice summery winter.
It's currently 50 degrees here.
I think I'm the opposite, 40. Nope, 33. 33 where I'm at. But
yeah, you both suck. Just for the record, I love you both, but you both suck. No, but I you know, that's the nice thing about this game too. It's making me feel warm when it's all cold outside.
Yeah, there was some intentional kind of like departure for me, at least, to go that direction from like a game theme and a game design perspective. Because if you think about like really popular games among the age bracket, right? It's Monopoly, it's Slapjack, it's Clue, or maybe Risk, and like, what are you doing? Well, you're out to bankrupt the other person. You're out to murderize the other people. You're out to, you know, wipe the other person off the face of the planet. It's like, okay, well, is there a way that we can play a game that doesn't necessarily involve the themes of, war, overt market forces, or zombies? And so I find that the more I think about Dogs Bond, going up on a shelf, right, into a wonderful game collection, kind of like what you have behind you there, Dave. Like, how is it going to stand out, right? When are you going to play that game? It's like, oh yeah, well, let's play this really awesome game that takes us on our rescue journey. And then, yes, as you saw, that reveal, which celebrates every every adoption, it's like, because that this game helps rescues, that you're helping real animals, real dogs experience that moment for real. So
earlier we were talking about Florida. There's one of my traveling TARDIS friends, Melanie. Yeah,
Oh my
me
gosh,
too there.
I want to be there.
Yeah, that's Florida. No, you don't. Florida.
Well, true. No, I don't want to be in Florida, but 72 I would like.
Yeah, that would be, a bonus.
Yeah, that's t-shirt and
Not gonna
shorts
lie.
weather for sure.
Really, so is it where you are, for as far as I'm concerned. So.
That's true. Okay.
Minus 40, I'm not going up there in a t-shirt. But, even if it's like minus 10, 20, I'm like, for a short time. But I'm a volcano. But so, where's it kind of going? So you've got the design. It's all nice and summery, but not every dog's summery. Some dogs like the winter. Those dogs aren't here. Are there going to be more dogs? Where are you kind of going forward?
From your lips to Kickstarter's ears, I guess. I would love to do additional dogs and really create additional event cards and have expansions. We had originally 6 dogs for the game, and it was through Kickstarter support really that we were able to hit those goals and release 2 additional dogs, expand the game from 4 players to 6 players. But a lot of that was us designing and developing because that's what we knew the audience wanted. Because they told us. Like, it wasn't like we had, we didn't telepathically. It was like comments, just like more dogs, more dogs, more dogs, more players, more players, more players. I remember getting a very specific message just saying, I would love to back this game, but my game group is 6 people, so I can't. And I was like, oh, well, maybe we can fix that. And we were like in the middle of like thinking like, how can we get there? How can we achieve this? How do we not compromise what we've built? How do we add on, right? Mm-hmm. So, So yes, there are designs for additional dogs. We have in development, I guess you could say, we have like the mini pincher. We have a Chihuahua. Kiki, do you want to talk about your Doberman that's in development?
Maybe.
maybe.
Yeah.
So there's certainly designs for that. What we would love to do is land this game, get this game to be the board game for all dog lovers everywhere worldwide, with that promise of, yes, don't let us fail. We will come and represent that dog breed that you want us to, because there's so many. I mean, if you look at other games like Wingspan as an example, right? They didn't start with every bird, and now they have Oceania expansion, and they have kind of other expansions that focus on those on those groups. So yeah, would love to do something like that. And we've talked about it internally, like with our group. If we did pit bulls, Dobermans, bulldogs, what we would do is we would design those dogs, give them superpowers, get them event cards and stuff like that, have that expansion, raise the money with it, and 100% of those proceeds would go to fighting breed-specific legislation, which is, if you don't know, it's those laws that say you can't have a pit bull because they're dangerous, even though we're not talking about a specific pit bull, we're just generalizing, right?
Yeah.
So that would be just a real delight. for us to do. So yeah, but we knew we had to get the initial game out first.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
And yeah, we'll do that. And yeah, so yes, more dogs.
and I love like I said, you're just taking that whole community experience another level with some of those expansion ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just dealing with those pet rescues, but now you're looking at, how else can you benefit the community, with those pit bulls, with those Dobermans, with all those breeds that are controversial.
Exactly. Right. There's I think that, for us, we want to be that positive change to how we talk about, rescue and adoption. We need a cold weather dog expansion, Husky, Malamute, Great Pyrenees. So 100% yes. I love big floofy dogs. One of my, the reason why we picked the dogs that we did was frankly because we had the most experience with the particular breeds that we were bringing into the game. That's pretty much it. So as an example, we have a Jack Russell Terrier, and my wife has a Jack Russell Terrier at home. Oh, there he is. And Smudge, all he does is dig in the garbage. This is his favorite thing to do. He just digs in the garbage. So the special ability for the Jack Russell is the ability to choose, rather than draw from the draw pile, they can draw from the discard. Right? It's like, that's my homage to Smudge.
Beautiful. I love it. That's amazing.
I saw someone say that next Kickstarter we should have a get your dog in the game tier, but we did that. We actually got, was it 8 custom illustrations?
Yep, 8 custom illustrations were picked up during the campaign, and so those dogs, so people got their dogs into the game. Yep. Not for wide distribution, just their own custom dog, okay. And with the frame, in our frame with a special Kickstarter exclusive power. And so yeah, those got snapped up pretty fast. I think we sold out of that tier, that reward tier, within the first 24 hours.
Did we really?
I think so, yeah. It was the first 24 hours. We did sleep that day, so yes, I think it was when we were asleep. That's when some of our backers from Japan came in. But yeah, next Kickstarter, we'd love to bring in.
There we go. Sarah's working on the last one as we speak. We did actually also have a tier to get your dog in the game for wide distribution. That's a hard
We did. That's true. We did a lot of stuff.
We did, yeah.
Which is why you were successful.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. Tell me a little bit more about the adopters. You've got a lot of diversity there. Can you tell me a little bit about how you kind of came up with those humans?
Well, I didn't. That was our illustrator. I will say, I think we talked about this yesterday. Alex just made a point of saying, hey, can you, Sarah, draw different kinds of people? Like, not, just one type of person, because we want to represent everybody who loves dogs, because everybody does love dogs. And I think that was pretty straightforward. That was it, I think. Right, Alex?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I wanted all different ages, races.
Wanted a healthy mix of. I wanted a healthy mix, but also too, I wanted people like. I wanted anyone who opened the box to be able to say, "Hey, I know that person."
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's that person that's down the street. It's that person that's in your neighborhood. Or somebody who personally, right? And just having that inclusiveness, having that diversity, having that representation was very important for us. It's I'm an Asian American designer, and I look at what and in most of the games that I play, think about big titles, right? Like Betrayal on House Hill. You've got an Asian character, but they're like, it's basically Short Round from Indiana Jones. Like that's like your main like Asian character representation, and it's like, no, we've like let's move like everyone worships at the altar of George Lucas, yes, but there is we've moved beyond that, right? We don't want to be stuck with those like archetype characters or frankly those stereotypes, and so I wanted to break out of that. When I approached artists about that, some of the artists had to self-select out of the project, like that were applying at the time. They had to self-select out of the project because I had met them at like an anime con. Their fabrics, textures were so gorgeous. They could show motion in there. They knew how to draw animals. And I said, great, what about people? And they're like, sorry, I draw one very particular angled type of like portrait, and they can either have black, red, or blonde hair. And I'm like, okay, like I need to, like, I appreciate you, but I'm good, and that was just kind of key, to our design, to this game, to my intent. Granted, it's become more forefront, especially in the board game industry, and I think the social justice conversation that I think the world is having right now, which is very important. But that didn't start it. You know what I mean? It was like, I didn't want the game to say, you know what, there, an Asian American male is going to be the best adopter every time. You want to get Alex to adopt you every time. And like, that was it, So that also kind of factored into making the end conditions and the win conditions of the game also interchangeable, because it also too allows for that replayability. It's kind of that like Nintendo-y type of feel where it's like, yeah, we can play, we know the motions, the end goal, it's going to shift ever so slightly, and you can play it up and mix it up with the different adopters that we have.
Right, and like every game, the houses are shuffled randomly. Is basically what happens in our game. So sometimes the highest scoring adopter is going to be Winnie, and other times it'll be Tom. But it's all random, so that everyone's on equal footing. No one's inherently better than anyone else. Is kind of what we were going for.
Right. And those, and those things, they're like at the beginning of the game. It's not like there's no hidden reveal about like the objective. You'll know where those adopters are right away. And then, it's up to you, be the best dog you can be, build towards the adopter that you want to be adopted by. And I've seen it happen, even in like our demos. Some people are like, you know what? I don't really care about the points. I'm going to be adopted by Hank.
Right.
Period. The end. Like, that's who I'm going to get adopted by. And then they do. And for them, that game experience is, I won. And I'm like, well, yes, you like, and then the other player will say, well, but you only scored 20 points. So-and-so scored 21. I don't care. I got Hank. I went home with Hank. That was my purpose. And that's, really, really, that's part of the fun. That's part of the conversation.
I think the argument would be more, every dog is the best dog. Who's the best dog? You're the best dog. That's why you bark. Yes, you bark. That's the best dog. Everyone.
Exactly. Yep.
No, that's everything I see of this game. The more I dig into it, the more I talk to you guys, listening in with you and Deb. I love everything. It's such a novel, and that downplays it a lot, but a novel approach to how games should work. And I like it. I love it. Just kind of from the beginning to the very end. Like it blows my mind that more games don't do what you guys are doing.
I think we diving into it or a little bit, right? Maybe it has everything to do with I think too, like the opportunity, the accessibility of it, to become a game designer, to say that I need to be included, I need to be represented in this. This is my expectation. I think it was like I've read several articles, right? off of like, Jamie Stegmaier's blog, other Facebook groups like, Daniel Zayas. Everybody's talking about who's the typical game designer. And I think it's right now still about like above 80% white male, right? And that's okay, right? But there's room. That just means that there's room at the table, for these voices, for these stories to be lifted and heard. I'm not gonna hide who I am, and that doesn't change. It's just that we're here, and we're gamers, we're dog people. Come play, and I think that's what I also too really enjoy about this industry, this hobby, is that there's always room at the table for one more player. There's always room at the table for one more game.
Yep. And you almost ended it there, because like, is there any how do you follow that? Because it's totally true.
Yeah.
It's something that we all should be striving more for. Some gaming groups, it's just not possible to have that diversity in your friend group. I grew up with 2 Asian families in the town I was in. Yes, they both ran a Chinese food restaurant, and 1 black family. That, I lived in the middle of nowhere, rural Alberta. That was incredibly diverse, and that's changing so much in the world. And it's a beautiful thing to see. And I think a lot of it is, even just being able to have these conversations online is helping the world grow. Right.
100%.
And I love that. That's, we all need to be nicer to each other.
We do. I think that would be even more of an opportunity in terms of like expansions, to have additional adopters. There's room, like the design that we have. There's a 2, 3, either 2 or 4, full on set collections in the set that we didn't yet create. So who those are and what they become, to be determined. We'll see, right? I'm really excited. About that.
So how many adopters and how many dogs are in there right now?
Right now, there are 8 dogs, and Kiki can probably list them off because she's looking at them. I'm going to get it wrong, but there's and there's 8 human adopters.
Yep. So we've got Winnie, got Tom, got Chase, we've got Agnes, we've got Yasmin, Mike, Hank, and April.
Yay!
And then for the dogs, we have the Jack Russell Terrier. We've got the Border Collie. These are all mixes, by the way, not purebreds. Basset Hound, Golden Retriever, the German Shepherd, Labrador, the Boston Terrier, and the Pomeranian. So 8 and 8. 8 dogs, 8 people.
So it definitely sounds like, that's 1, 2, 3 options there for a cold weather, Definitely,
I have
definitely easily. You can do 4 and easily do 4 and 4. And there's
do 4 and 4. We could do 4 and 4. Yeah, it would be
expansion.
It would be delightful. It would be our honor. I think, once we get it printed in May and it's shipping, and we've slept a little, we're in it. We're on it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Chris, there will be another Christmas.
Yes.
Another winter.
That's right. That's right. I think in the cold weather dogs, like fluffy dogs, the Samoyed needs to be in there, right? He's a little fluff ball. Yeah, that would be fun.
And Santa Claus can be an adopter. Not actually Santa, just a big white bearded chubby guy with whose name is Nick. There you-
Or like a model of a model off of Mrs. Claus, or a model off of an elf. Like, yeah, it's fine, right?
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Kiki's going notes.
Yeah, no, funnily enough, I have a husky right now, and my parents-in-law just got a Great Pyrenees puppy, so we're gonna have so much hair everywhere. They all sound fun and cute in theory, but just wait until you have like hairballs on your floor this big.
Mm-hmm.
Make another
Build
dog.
another dog.
Yeah.
I've seen that video.
Yes.
Yeah, I think for, I don't know, maybe it's a Samoyed or maybe the husky, like, their special ability would be like trade, instead of like may play a grooming as a temperament.
Yeah, because they're not going to be well groomed.
Right. Yeah. The grooming is just gonna like out the window, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, they'll trade in that stat.
Growing up, I had a black cat and 2 black labs.
Mm.
I can't imagine why that would be an important thing for me.
So
I always wear black.
Don't wear light colors.
Nope.
Yeah.
Which was not a problem. White cat, that's a problem.
Yes. Meanwhile, I love wearing black, but I have a white dog.
Yeah.
So
you live with one of those rolly thingies.
I've given up. I'm just constantly covered in hair. It's fine.
It's fine.
My sister has a big, no distinct breed, but very large, very white dog.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. You can almost see a trail. Like, you might not know this, Alex, but Kiki, you've probably seen snow. You get the light, and you get the little bit of snow you can see in a light.
Yep.
You get that with the hair.
Yep. Oh no, yes, 100%.
It's just wafting in the sunlight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
That's a nice thing for a lot of people. One of the reasons I don't have a dog, aside from my travel schedule, I'm kind of allergic. I'm allergic to board games.
Yep.
They're hypoallergenic.
Yep. You can have 8 dogs. I got 8 dogs for you, Dave. You wanna? So yeah, it would be. And I think that you're not alone in that. One of my play testers, who went through lots and lots of iterations of the game itself, has allergies as well. And after playing the game, now that it's in its final form, he was like, it kind of feels like I was able to get a dog, just for a moment there, right? And I think it's just a wonderful sentiment, a wonderful moment to share with each other at the game table. So hopefully we're looking forward to being adopted into many, many forever homes and coming to your game night, right? Have Dogs Bond under the table all the time.
Just have it sitting there.
Right, just have it sitting there waiting. Yeah. Just waiting.
Some food falls on the table, you just kind of move the box and it pushes it away.
That's right.
Oh, so you said it now. May is the hopeful release date.
May is the target date. I mean, where we went to Kickstarter and we funded in September of 2020, where nothing was happening, nothing at all. So unfortunately, right, when you've got large projects with, Cosmos, IDW, Renegade, right? Like they're printing large projects, but they were delayed. Their schedules affect ours. So we're hoping that once our factory comes back online from Chinese New Year and gets us back on, we should be, crossing fingers, prioritized in March so that we will be printed, do the child safety testing, all those wonderful things that travel, shipping times, customs, and actually be delivered to backers in May of this year.
Brilliant. I love it. And are you trying to get into retail stores as well?
Yeah, we've got a couple of retail backers, which is great. Because either the game shop, the shop owner heard about it from their friend who runs a rescue, or the person who runs a game store also runs a rescue. It's just so serendipitous, right? So yeah, we want to go into the friendly local game shops. That is definitely who we're targeting. That is the backbone of our industry, of our hobby, and we want to go through them and rescues. Right. So again, I mentioned it as being a fundraiser. So we want to be able to say, hey, we will take care of the packaging, the shipping, fulfillment, but here's the link. And if anybody who supports you buys the game through you, we're going to give you some money, right? This is a fundraising opportunity for you because we, Dogs Bond, want to support the people who are living this mission that we share to improve the lives of animals. So yeah, that's how you get it. I've said it before, but we are going to try to stay off of Amazon. We're going to try to be a true self-published indie project. So help us get there. Dave, any suggestions?
Talk to lots of people. talk to people. Oh, look, people. So that is the website there, right? dogsbondgame.com. Is that
dogsbondgame.com. That's right. So you can go there and you can pick up a copy. We're still doing pre-orders. We're going to close the pre-orders in March. Because that way we can count them up, know how many we need, ship them out to the backers and late pledges. But yeah, it's all there. You can see us, get to know us a little bit more. See a lot of the cool art that we've done, and yeah.
At Dogs Bond, pretty much all your social medias.
All social media. Yep. That was really fun, back in my day when I first started looking for a game title. I knew that I wanted to have a game handle that was going to be simple, and making sure, going on Facebook, being like, okay, is this on there? Yeah, that's on there. Going on Instagram, okay, yeah, I got one on Facebook. No, it's on it. Okay, back up. But yeah, Dogs Bond game.
That works. We're getting close to an hour here. I want to thank you guys so much for coming. Do you guys have any anything else you want to plug besides just get pre-order Dogs Bond? Is there anything else you guys have going on that you want to throw out to the universe?
Kiki, are you doing commissions?
No.
Okay, they're still closed. Okay, I'm in line.
Okay.
Sarah, are you doing commissions? Sarah, you're part of this group.
Yeah, Sarah, you doing commissions?
Feel free to chime in. I'll put you up there.
Yeah. So pre-order. Yes, absolutely. We want to, our success in the game is going to allow us to be successful in those other ideas, expansions. Once the world starts spinning again, events. We would love to go to cons, and that's all, kind of dependent on how well we do and our, once we're in the world, in the public. So yeah, come check us out. And also too, if you know of a rescue or if you work for a rescue and you think that they might benefit from our project, give us a holler. Go to dogsbondgame.com, sign up, and there's a link for rescues to sign up to give us their info so that we can get all of the logistics and stuff set up for you. So yep.
Perfect. And I know we'll up here there's a number of different rescues that hang out at our conventions. Of course, like everywhere else, we have no conventions right now, but I know it'll be I think that's going to help you guys as well. As once the world reopens, it'll be a little bit of an easier process.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I'll put that back up there just because that's one button. Sarah does not have any commissions open, but she is fishing for new board games to draw, so got a board game out there. Bonus points gets to paint more dogs.
Yep. And if this if this project isn't enough to convince you, or our recommendation, because Sarah's great, to work with, and also to just the quality of illustrations that you get too. Actually, Tom Vassell from Dice Tower reviewed our game on one of those crowdfunding, reviews that he and Z and the team do, and he said, for board games that are looking for artists, hire these people, thinking that it was multiple illustrators, right? No, it's all Sarah. So, if you don't take my word for it, talk to Tom Vassell. Like,
there you go. Perfect.
Don't
So
take
yeah,
our
no,
word for it. Just look at this. Look
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah,
Dogs Bond.
It's cute.
it is. I absolutely adore it. It's amazing. But Kiki, thank you for coming out and joining us. Alex, thank you. You guys have been amazing. Hopefully we'll keep in touch. We'll maybe talk again a little bit closer to May.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
What's happening there. Yeah, and thank you to everyone else who's come and joined us and watched today and commented and gotten involved. Thank you to the Calgary Clown Society, whose StreamYard program we're using to broadcast this to you. To geekrama.net, who is co-broadcasting this with my own site, the 427s. Amazing band from Calgary. That's whose music you're hearing at either end of this. Extra shout out coming up next Sunday. Our very own Renaissance gamer Brent is going to be running a charity one-shot actual play of I Hunt, Under the Influence, and that's on Twitch TV. It's probably okay, raising funds for the Trevor Project. So that's next Sunday, February 14th at 1 p.m. Pacific. As well, we did set up a link tree just to make it a little easier for everyone to find us. So Linktree, linktr.ee, so tr.ee/therathole.ca. You can find our Facebook page, or all our social medias, our YouTube channel. Please, by all means, subscribe, like, wherever you happen to be watching this, especially our YouTube. We really need to start getting more people on your YouTube. But yes, thank you again to Alex, Kiki, to Sarah, who joined in on text. Hi, Sarah. And again, thank you all for tuning in today. And until next time, I guess good gaming and goodbye.